Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa. I am a 44-year-old single person currently living in the Northern Virginia, DC area. I am following the Dave Ramsey baby steps and I'm on baby step number 2, working to pay off my debt. My current debt is $55,500. So if you are new here, welcome. I hope that you'll consider subscribing. And if you are returning, thanks so much for stopping back by. I really appreciate it. So by the title, you can tell that I am going to go over with you my budget for my February paycheck number 2. So it is only Tuesday, but I am going to go ahead and get the budget out of the way. I did my debt payoff plan the other day, and so I know that all of my expenses that I will have for the next 2 weeks, I can pay for with my base salary. And so what I'm going to do is go ahead and budget for the things that I know that I'm going to need, and then everything else above and beyond these things will go directly into the Capital One 360 account that I have for my debt payoff. So with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and jump right in. The first fixed expense is my rent. I do rent a basement apartment. My rent is $900 a month. Paycheck number 1, I put aside $450. So I'm going to do the same again for this check. And then I'll be ready to pay my rent on Friday when my deposit's made. All right, so that's $450. Next is my debt payment. I have 4 creditors. Each one gets auto-deducted from my account at $100 a piece. So that's a total of $400. Next is YouTube. And YouTube is $17.99. Next is Sling TV, and that total is $44.98. And last is Netflix, and that's $13.99. Somebody had asked the other day on in the comments if I split the cost of YouTube, Sling, Netflix, Hulu, all of the subscriptions with my children, and the answer to that question is no, I don't. My children are grown, that is true, but I would have these things anyway. The ladies that I rent from are Peruvian and they are Spanish speaking. So all of the television stations are in Spanish and I don't speak a lick of Spanish. So I would have these things anyway for entertainment. So I hope that helps to answer the question. Next, okay, so let me tell you what my total is. So that is $900. This is for my fixed expenses. It's $926.96. Next is cash envelopes, and these are the envelopes that I will keep in my wallet. First is gas, and gas will get $40. Next is food. Food is going to get $100. I may not need that much, but I'm going to go ahead and allocate $100 just in case. I tried $25 a week in groceries. That didn't work out so well, and $50 seems to be pretty close to what I need. So I'm going to try that for this time around and see how that goes. Can always change it. That's the great thing about a budget. This is individual to me and my needs. And so as I'm tracking my expenses, I'm finding what works for me and what doesn't work for me. I watch other YouTubers and I get inspiration from their budgets, whether it's how they are organizing their cash envelopes, could be the amount of money that they're spending on groceries, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to work for me. So it's just trial and error. So you do what works for you. Next is donations, and that's going to get $14. Then we've got fur babies, and that's going to get $50. And if you're new here, I have two fur babies. I have a cat named Tink, and I have a dog named Chewy. And they are spoiled rotten, and they eat canned food every single day. So that's why that budget is so high. Next is toiletries. That's going to get $8. And then household will get $8. So that brings my cash expenses to $220. All right, so moving on to my sinking funds. First is car maintenance, and that is going to get $60. Next is car insurance, and that will get $40. My car insurance, I already paid in January, so it is paid in full until June. So $40 every 2 weeks, $80 a month is my premium. And so I will set that aside for when it comes due again in June. Next is car taxes, and that will get $14. That my car tax, well, taxes are already paid, but my car tags, my emissions and inspection, that's due next month. Next is renter's insurance. That's going to get $14. And that also is paid up for the next at least 6 months. I can't remember. I should probably look this up. I don't know if I paid it for the 6 months or if I paid the entire year. I don't know. But it works out to be $14 every 2 weeks. Next is fur babies, and this time fur babies is going to get $30. They do need, both of them need their nails trimmed, and so I'm going to take them to the vet to have that done next week, and that's $15 a piece. So no additional money will go into their sinking fund. This is just for their nails. So if you have seen any of my other videos, you'll notice that my sinking fund list is very, very small. So my sinking fund total is $158. So let's talk about what I'm missing. So these are going to be my zero sinking funds. So what am I not contributing to this check? First is gifts. So my gift total, I think I have $160 in that sinking fund right now. I have my children's birthday, that's $100, and then I have 2 nieces and a nephew who have birthdays between now and the end of the year, and my nieces and my nephew will get $20 a piece. That's $160. Doesn't leave any money for Christmas, but if my debt payoff plan goes as planned, then I will be able to cash flow Christmas without any problems. So for right now, I'm going to do 0 for gifts, but if I find later on in the year that, the goal that I've set for myself isn't something that's going to happen by the end of the year, then I'll probably go ahead and start a sinking fund just for Christmas. Next is beauty. I am not going to be getting any haircuts and definitely not getting my hair colored anymore. So I'm going to leave that at $60 and let that set for as long as I can stand for my hair to grow out. Next is the new car fund. So I have a 2006 Honda. I have my baby emergency fund of $1,000. So God forbid anything should go wrong. I have my emergency fund to help me with any repairs. I don't anticipate having any repairs that would cause me to have to purchase a new vehicle. So for right now, I'm going to hold off on a new car fund. Getting out of debt's more important. Next is my clothing fund. I have $50 in that fund right now, and I don't need anything. So that's not getting a dime. Next is medical. Medical has $105, I believe, and I don't get sick very often, knock on wood. So that's plenty of money for copays if I needed to make a doctor's appointment and for any prescriptions that I may need. If something happens later on in the year and I think that I need to start funding that again, I will do that. But for right now, that's not getting anything. Next is my moving fund. So I love where I'm living. The ladies that I rent from are so awesome. And this moving fund was in anticipation to move back home to be closer to my children. But since I'm going to be working this year on paying off debt, moving is just going to have to wait. Maybe next year, things might change and I can start contributing to that again. But for right now, I'm going to stay put. Next is vacation. That is fully funded, and I don't anticipate, what's in my sinking fund right now is $350, I think, which is enough for one trip to visit my children. Once that trip happens, which that will be sometime in June or July, I'll start funding that again at that time to make one more trip out before the end of the year, hopefully during the holidays. So that's not going to get anything this time. And last is just my random savings envelope where everything just kind of, anything that's left over gets dumped into that envelope. So that is my budget for paycheck number 2. Now, I've been thinking about how can I speed up my process of getting out of debt? How can I go ahead and get my very first item off my list, which is to file my taxes and to pay the $4,500 that I need, the $4,500 that I need to pay my taxes. So that was money that, I was short last year in my deductions. And so that I need to pay by April. With that being said, I want some feedback from all of you. I can stick with my plan right now, which is to set aside another $1,500, from this paycheck and the next paycheck, which will give me what I need to go ahead and file. Or do I speed that up and go ahead and take the money from my car sinking fund, my new car sinking fund, the savings envelope, and the moving fund? So let me see if I can put this on here somewhere down at the bottom. So right now, the new car fund, that has $285. Then the savings envelope has $393. And last, the moving fund has $450. So those 3 envelopes have a total of $1,028. So I'm wondering, what would you do? Would you go ahead and just take the money from my paychecks and leave the sinking funds alone? Or would you go ahead, since I'm not going to be contributing anything else to these funds and I don't anticipate needing to, would you go ahead and take that money out and throw it at the debt? So let me know in the comments what you think. So that is my plan for my February paycheck number 2. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day or night wherever you're at. Bye.